Good evening, and welcome to the Tech Lab Brief, your daily heartbeat of technology and reminder that the reports of an AI apocalypse have been greatly exaggerated. We are your hosts,
I'm Ben.
and I'm BK. Today is July 22nd, 2026, and this is your PM Brief. Let's jump right into it. OpenAI's new GPT 5.6 and Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 are neck and neck in a tight race for top AI performance. Dropping across developer ecosystems in late July 2026, independent evaluation data highlights that frontier model capabilities have reached a plateau where their capabilities are virtually tied. OpenAI's flagship GPT 5.6 Soul and Anthropic's Claude Fable 5 are performing so similarly that their benchmark scores no longer separate them.
It's pretty interesting. So it's reaching a plateau.
Yeah, these models are doing so darn well, and it's really getting to the point where it's hard to tell the difference between what we get out of each of them.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to start focusing on some other parts of AI rather than is this just the chatbot aspect? Like the chatbots are plateauing?
And that's a good question. This coverage of Claude versus GPT is actually focused on the coding.
The coding.
So how they perform in writing code, but then that gets broken down in terms of how they perform like using the terminal, like the command line, and actually writing code.
I see.
Right? So it says here, OpenAI leads in automated terminal tasks, while Anthropic is the favorite for developers writing directly inside the code.
Oh, nice.
So there's more here we could cover regarding benchmarks on how they perform using the terminal. There's a benchmark called Terminal Bench, also pricing and how efficiently they use tokens. But at this point, all these models perform so well that it seems like developers are choosing to go with both and trying to figure out when to use one versus the other. But Ben, for you as a student, we had a discussion before the brief, and I don't think you use these higher performing models to do all your coding work yet, do you?
No, I don't. I just use the free version of ChatGPT right now. So if you were to present me with these two high level AIs, I probably couldn't tell the difference. They both help me immensely, probably. But right now, what's helping me is just the free versions because that's the capability I need right now. I don't need any higher.
Right. And honestly, to that point, I question to what extent that even like these large enterprises need a super duper high performing AI. Like, just how complicated can the algorithms that they have to solve be?
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to start focusing on more specific aspects now. Like these AIs are specifically focused on code. So I wonder if they're going to have the AIs, the newer models be just like for this capability, for that subject, for that,
It seems like that's where we're moving to. But I also know that, Ben, when you're here co-hosting the Tech Lab Brief, we want to try to step away from AI.
Yeah.
So let's go and do that and cover the next story.
All right.
Tell us about this elephant material.
Elephant-inspired cement tiles could cool buildings without electricity. So researchers have developed cement tiles modeled after the cracked, water-trapping skin of elephants. Tiny pores absorb water while engineered cracks distributed across the surface. As the water slowly evaporates, it carries heat away through a process known as evaporative cooling. In laboratory testing, the tiles stayed 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than traditional stucco and provided cooling for up to 20 hours, potentially reducing buildings' reliance on energy-intensive air conditioning. Yeah, so the idea is instead of putting electricity to conditioning, just make the building out of a material that can naturally cool itself.
Mm-hmm. If I understand correctly, this is a cement,
Yes.
and it's designed to have these cracks in them.
Yeah, so most engineers, they associate cracks with something with a flaw, like it's about to fail.
Right.
But in this case, the cracks are carefully engineered in a way where they act as capillary channels that spread the water across the surface. Yeah, so that's a big word. Basically, it absorbs the water better rather than the water just trickling down the building. It stays absorbed in the building. And
There's something about using the water that it traps to actually do the cooling.
yeah, so it's a physical law, like a thermodynamic law, where when water in the liquid phase is hot enough that it can go to the vapor phase or the gas phase, it actually has to absorb heat from its surroundings, heat energy, in order to transition phases. So if the water is absorbed inside this cement material, then when it evaporates, it absorbs the heat from the material, consequently making the material cooler. And
Mm.
then that material absorbs the heat from the indoors in the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
And on that note, you're reminding me of my chemistry teacher who made us repeat a gajillion times that evaporation is a cooling process,
Yeah.
which I think is what you were explaining, yes?
Yeah, it's similar to how humans sweat. We sweat,
Mm.
and then the water in our sweat evaporates and cools us down.
That's what helps regulate our body temperature.
Right.
The more you know.
Yeah.
But we can't know everything. And in this day and age, we have this AI thing at our disposal. So thank you for that little journey away from AI, Ben. But back to the AI news. Gemini now has a cyber specialist, introducing a specialized Gemini model designed for cybersecurity. So we have this Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber, which is a model specifically developed to identify software vulnerabilities, analyze security threats, and assist defenders with patching serious weaknesses. Unlike general purpose chatbot, the model is optimized for cybersecurity work. Google is initially restricting access because the same capabilities that allow the model to discover vulnerabilities could also be misused to help the attackers.
That's interesting. Right before you said that last line, I was wondering, what if they just use AI to break through that cybersecurity? AI against AI.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a story about that earlier today as well. This company called Hugging Face got hacked. Hugging Face is like, they're kind of like a GitHub for AI models and data sets.
Mm.
And they recently got hacked. The report was yesterday that they got hacked, and then over the evening, OpenAI reported that it was actually their AI that was part of this infiltration.
Wow.
So now you have Google joining the front with this Gemini Flash Cyber. And yes, the very paradox that the thing that is used to keep us safe could be the very thing that, I guess, breaks us down.
I mean, it's always a double-edged sword. It was like that industrial revolution. You can use it for good. You can use technology for good or for bad.
Mm.
I mean, we've seen it in the internet, definitely. You got good sides of the internet and bad sides of the internet.
Good and bad. I guess that's a recurring theme we keep coming back to.
Yeah.
But one thing that is definitely bad is cancer. So let's step away from AI again and talk about that, huh?
A new cancer treatment strategy could stop tumors before resistance takes hold. Scientists are using the principles of evolution to rethink cancer care, proposing that doctors switch between different treatments before tumors can adapt and become resistant. Mathematical models indicate that quickly switching among several therapies at carefully selected times can stay ahead of the cancer's evolution and potentially increase cure rates. The strategy is promising, but further laboratory studies and clinical trials are still needed. Yeah, so the idea is, I read up about this a good while before the broadcast. The idea is be unpredictable to the tumors. So before the tumor, so if you give one treatment to the tumor, switch the treatment at a carefully calculated time, switch it to a different treatment before the tumor can adapt and evolve to become resistant to the first treatment.
Hmm. Is this specific to any type of cancer, or is this a generalized strategy towards cancer treatment?
I think from what I read, it's generalized, but they also said that they are working on seeing if it's more effective on specific tumors and less effective on other particular tumors.
Did this article talk about any treatment strategies in particular, like chemotherapy? I know there's
No,
surgeries.
it was not very specific on the types of treatment. What they did mention was for small tumors, you could just switch between 2 treatments. But for bigger tumors, you got to switch between 3 or more treatments. It's similar to how animals in harsh environments evolved to adapt to those harsh environments, the same way these tumors adapt to the treatments. So you got to kind of, the way the researchers describe it is kick them while they're down.
Hmm.
So just switch the treatment really quickly before it gets used to the first one.
Yeah, cancer is a really tricky one. It's definitely one of those areas of research that I would love to see being accelerated by AI.
Of course.
I guess actually on that note, it brings an end to a new segment, and we'll transition now into our knowledge segment. And our knowledge segment today is brought to you by BK Tech.
By Barcade.
Arcade. We'll skip the sponsorship today. Back to this. Today's knowledge segment is brought to you by BK Tech Labs, ushering an era of collective intelligence, bringing an end to the gatekeeping of knowledge. Join us today. Become a member. Help shape the narrative. So for today's knowledge segment, we were going to talk a little bit more about the state of cancer research.
Yeah. It's a very broad topic to talk about.
And I know that's, it's not that you don't like AI, it's just that you prefer if we don't talk about AI all the time. And let's step away we took a step away talking about the elephant cement material.
Material science.
Little material science. I'm sure, AI is going to get everywhere.
I'm sure AI is going to get into that topic as well. Yep.
In that very same vein, we're going to let AI have its way with the state of cancer research. WeChat is our AI chat replaying app. And we have here our most recent article or our most recent chat about asking what is the current state of the art. Current state of the art. What is the current state of the art in cancer research? How has AI assisted in these advancements? So, cancer research in the middle of a massive paradigm shift, moving away from broad organ-specific treatments, heading towards precision oncology, which I believe is similar to what you were talking about, right? Getting specific treatments to what it is, I guess, what is being identified.
Right.
So frontiers of cancer research today: antibody drug conjugates, next generation immunotherapies, liquid biopsies and multi-cancer early detection, tumor microenvironment, and spatial biology.
I think the microenvironment concept is what was touched on in that fourth news segment. You treat the tumor like an environment of cells the same way you've got an environment of animals that evolve based on their harsh environment.
Yeah, it says here mapping. My goodness, I gotta. The way it's like the hotkey for switching is the same hotkey for continuing the WeChat. So I'm gonna have to figure that one out. So it says here, mapping how cancer cells hide from immune surveillance within this environment is key to overcoming treatment resistance. Right? You're saying keep switching it to
be unpredictable.
So it doesn't develop this resistance. Liquid biopsies and multi-cancer early detection. Catching cancer before symptoms appear remains the holy grail. Of course. Advanced blood tests now detect circulating tumor DNA and RNA to identify dozens of cancer types from a single blood draw. Wow. Often years before a tumor would show up on a traditional scan. Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Beyond traditional CAR T cell therapies, researchers are developing cell therapies for solid tumors with bispecific antibodies and mRNA-based cancer vaccines that train a patient's immune system to attack tumor-specific neoantigens.
That's pretty cool.
Next generation immunotherapies. So to actually train the immune system to attack tumor-specific neoantigens. And then antibody drug conjugates, often called guided missiles for cancer. The ADCs combine a monoclonal antibody with a potent cytotoxic drug, which kills cancer cells directly while sparing healthy surrounding tissue. Needless to say, all this sounds a lot better than chemotherapy.
Yeah.
Taking a drug that just like breaks down all the cells in the body?
Yeah. I mean, chemotherapy is one of those things that the tumor also gets resistant to.
Right. So, I guess continuing on and how AI is driving these advancements, there is molecular drug discovery, a payload design, generative AI, de novo, I believe, new protein design, targeting undruggable mutants. So yeah, it's a lot about like fighting this resistant capability of cancer. Computational pathology and diagnostic models. Genomic prediction from basic slides. Predicting treatment for the spot to survive. So there's things like we're moving towards more of the imaging side of detection.
Right.
Just play out. Wow, there's a lot going on here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's so many variants of it. That's why it's so hard to treat.
There's an interesting little factoid here. Clinical trial matching and workflow efficiency. Only 5 to 10% of cancer patients ever enroll in clinical trials often because doctors lack the time to manually search through complex trial eligibility databases. So I can definitely see how AI would help with that. Specialized large language models extract the criteria from unstructured electronic health records and match eligible patients with open clinical trials in real time as soon as their disease progresses.
So clinical trials are experimental treatments.
Right. Like the one that you just shared about I don't know, is there a name for this? The
For this strategy?
strategy to stop tumors before the resistance holds?
Yeah, I don't think there's like a name to it. I think the thing you would say that identifies it is switching treatments. Like the word switching, when you switch treatments.
I see.
So the strategy of switching treatments. You think they get put automatically into these clinical trials when their cancer just gets so strong that we just got to experiment with stuff?
Yeah, based on what I know regarding cancer treatments, it's everyone's different. Every cancer is different. Everyone responds to it differently. Everyone has different risk tolerances to be willing to try out more experimental drug treatments. Yeah, it's one of those ones that we wish didn't exist, but
Yeah.
it does. So how do we take care of it? How do we confront this? And this is what the research is for sure. And in some ways, the common enemy, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter whether you're American or Chinese or, rich or poor.
It's out to get everyone.
Yeah, cancer can hit anybody anytime. So it's good to see that there's always ongoing research and that this AI is definitely on the forefront of.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see we're making progress too, based on, the article I read that there is potential for better cure rates.
So we'll finish up with this listing of the different types of areas. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So drug discovery, pathology, early detection, trial matching. So these are all kind of traditional approaches to research, discovering drugs, discovering the effects of the cancer, how to detect it early, matching trials, and the ways that AI is advancing these areas of research.
Mm-hmm.
So AI can create a lot more kind of simulations on protein synthesis, predicting genetic mutations, and automated scanning of routine images. Yeah, all good things, I see.
Yeah.
So I always appreciate us being able to take a step away from, which right now, the discussion at hand is definitely that AI is most talked about in the coding field, in software engineering. And that's not to say that AI is also finding its way to be very useful in many other areas of research, like what we just discussed in cancer. And there's also another interesting element where it seems that software engineering is also, coding is an aspect of the working world, of the workforce, of technology that is inevitable. It gets involved in every way.
Right.
So how all these roads end up converging, time only tells.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it for me. Any closing words from you, Ben?
Just got to hope that more good comes out of it than bad, as we've been talking about. It can be used for good, it can be used for bad. And I think it's going down a direction where it's being used for good. AI, it'll be used for a lot of great things.
I believe. We believe.
We believe.
We believe. On that note, here's our knowledge segment to an end. And now it'll be time for our barcade segment. So moving on to the barcade. Wow, what a game.
And so it looks like that pawn is trying to become a queen, I'm guessing,
Mm-hmm.
to upgrade. But looks like that rook is going to block it.
Best move would probably be to block the pawn, yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the pawn's going right for the rook, or going for a queen, or going for the promotion. But
well, the rook could also just stay there. Because if the pawn becomes a queen, then you can move that rook there and take the queen. Maybe for now you can move something else and maybe check the king if that's possible.
well, the pawn can capture the rook here.
Oh yeah, I forgot pawns can take diagonally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, probably. Or maybe you could move the rook to d8. So the pawn is gonna be not gonna be able to upgrade, and the rook will also be right in line with the king if that knight moves.
Well, the knight wouldn't be able to.
Well, yeah, I mean, based on the rules, it's illegal to move the knight, but to trap the knight, basically, not allowing the knight to move.
Yeah, but then if the pawn promotes, And the rook takes. Then we go down a rook here because that rook will take it right back.
Oh, that is right.
So I feel like the best move is just to block the pawn here.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty all-around good move.
Mm-hmm. So and it's not even our move. It's actually Team Red's turn. So we're just setting a prediction here. I predict that'll be the preferred move by Team Blue.
Maybe one day predictions can have some sort of effect.
One
You
year.
predict right.
Also Team Blue, which I believe circled, so block it.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
And then connect 4.
Once again, AI likes the stack.
AI likes the stack, but maybe we can make it go this way, huh? Checkers.
So Team Blue is which one? Which color? Red or
black? Blue's black.
Oh yeah, you can see up there. Team Blue, black.
I would try to start moving this guy towards king.
Yeah, I think that'll be good.
Yeah. Not much hope for this guy here. He's just kind of in the way, or these pieces prevent these pieces from promoting.
Yeah.
So do that. And that finishes our run through the barcade. That'll bring our barcade segment to an end. And it'll bring our briefing also to an end. Still got 3 minutes. Anything you want to put out there, share with the world?
No, not particularly in my mind right now. Anything you got?
Just a little bit of sentiment that it's been a fun run through this tech lab building adventure, this building out this brief program. We've just started pushing it our VODs on social. We've been doing edits to get it into shorter form content. I feel that has caught on somewhat. It's still very early on, and I'm excited. Hopefully we're excited to see where this all goes. Hope you had a good one, and catch us for the next one.
Yeah.
And always let us know what you think. And yeah, about that membership, maybe. And now, your minutes of Zen. All right. Have a safe drive home. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye now.